Have you ever faced uncertain times and wondered, how am I supposed to trust God when things feel so shaky? I've been there, friend, and it can be so scary. But I want to share with you 4 things that helped me find peace and be able to trust God even when I felt afraid. Welcome, beautiful friend. I'm Tshanina. Let's pursue joy and peace together. Let me share with you the 4 things that helped me because I believe they can help you too. I anchored myself on God's promises. One of the first things that helped me trust God was holding on to His promises like an anchor. You know how a boat can drift when it's not anchored down? That's how my heart felt. I drifted between worry and fear. But when I opened up my Bible and read verses like Isaiah 41:13 that say, "For I am the Lord your God, who takes hold of your right hand and says to you, 'Do not fear, I will help you.'" Verses like this were an anchor to my soul. I didn't need to understand everything. I just needed to trust that God did. You can do this too, friend. Each morning, I want you to pick a promise from the Bible. Write it down and put it somewhere that you'll see it through the day so you can keep reminding yourself of this promise. You can put it on your bathroom mirror, on your cell phone lock screen, or in a journal. This will just anchor you in the promises that God has for you. Now, if you're not sure what verses to find, I have a blog post that has verses about trusting God. I'll leave a link for that below if you would like to check that out and anchor yourself in the promises of God. I embraced the power of prayer. Prayer kept me steady when everything around me felt shaky. And I used to think that you had to have just the right words when you prayed. But I've learned that prayer isn't about perfect words. It's about having honest conversations with God, even when you're scared or unsure. Philippians 4:6 tells us, "Do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation, by prayer and petition, with thanksgiving, present your requests to God." Friend, you don't have to fix everything. Just bring it to Him. There have been many times when I have cried out to God and said, "God, I don't know what to do," or "I don't think I can do this." And in those still, quiet moments, that's when I felt His peace. Pray as you go throughout your day and talk to God like you would a close friend. Instead of picking up the phone and calling a friend, talk to God. Share what's on your heart, big or small. Friend, He's always listening. Now, if you need help with your prayer life, I've created a prayer journal just for you, and in it there are the 4 keys to an abundant prayer life. I'll leave a link to that below also if you want to check that out. I surrounded myself with a supportive community. When life feels uncertain, isolation makes it worse. And friend, let me just tell you this, that the enemy wants you to be isolated. He wants you to be alone, and he wants you to be fearful. So I want you to be mindful of that. There were many times when I thought to myself, no one is going to understand what I'm going through. But when I vulnerably shared with the ladies in my Bible study what I was going through, it reminded me that I wasn't alone in what I was going through. Their encouragement helped me feel God's love. Proverbs 27:17 reminds us, "As iron sharpens iron, so one person sharpens another." Being around others who share your faith strengthens your trust in God, especially when you're struggling. If you're feeling isolated or overwhelmed, reach out to a friend or join a small group. God often uses community to remind us that we don't have to face life's uncertainties alone. I reflected on God's faithfulness in my past. When life feels uncertain, I look back. I can think of all the times when God has come through for me in my past, knowing that He's going to do the same in my future. It's kind of like building a photo album of God's faithfulness. And whenever I flip through those memories, my fear shrinks. In 1 Chronicles 16:12, David's talking to the Levites, and he says, "Remember the wonders He has done, His miracles and the judgments He pronounced." God's track record is perfect, friend. And He hasn't brought you this far just to leave you now. Just like the Israelites, we need to remember God's faithfulness in our own lives. that will keep us strong and will help us, especially when we're going through uncertain times. Start a faith journal, or even keep a list on your phone of moments when you've seen God's hand at work in your life, big or small. And then whenever uncertainty hits, you can look back at those memories and be reminded that God was faithful then, and He hasn't left your side now, and He's going to be faithful in your future. Remember that trusting God doesn't mean you won't feel fear or uncertainty. I still feel those feelings in my life, but it means that you're choosing faith step by step. So take a deep breath, lean into Him, and be reminded that He's with you every step of the way. I want to read to you that verse I read at the very beginning because it's so powerful when you truly believe it. Isaiah 41:13. For I am the Lord your God, who takes hold of your right hand and says to you, do not fear, I will help you.